So we're going to start this Cortana University project. We are going to go here. First step is to change that to a 2. Boom. Then we are going to start with the first steps. So this is a project for the Cortana University. It wants us to, it says column F, Jane wants to display the age of the pledge, which is the number of days between the current date and the pledge date. Provide this information as follows. It says in cell F, so we're gonna go here. Jane wants to, it says in cell F5, insert a formula without using a function that subtracts the pledge. Date cell B5 from the current date cell B2. So we are going to go to the function box and we are going to put a function for date. Open it up and then we're going to put B2. Actually, we don't even need to put the parentheses, so B2. Actually, yeah, I need to put the parentheses, sorry. It's going to be B. Okay, so it's going to be the date. Sorry, I kind of messed up here. One of the steps lets me change this back. Okay, so it wants us to do the date actually first. So we're going to do here the date, so equals, and we're going to put date. We'll click date right here. And then we're just going to write it how it wants it here. So how it says year, month, day. So we're going to put 2024. And then we're going to put a comma. And then we're going to put the month, which is going to be 8. And then comma, and then the 25th for the day. And we're going to end it with the parentheses. And then, boom, enter. And then you would have that there. I'm going to zoom this up for you guys a little bit. So there it is. Now we are going to go to the first step, which is going to be, it's going to be in column F5. So in column F5, says insert a formula without using a function that subtracts the pledge date cell B5 from the current date cell B2. So for this, we're going to go here. We're just going to put equals, and we can put B2, subtract it, B2, subtract it from B5. So it's going to subtract the date from the pledge date, and it's asking us use the absolute in the cell of B2. So I'm going to go here, highlight B2, and then we're going to put function 4. And this is going to help make every column have its individual calculations so it doesn't just spread. And then it says we're going to drag it here, so boom. Do that again. So in case you didn't see that, we're going to just input this formula again. So equals B2 minus B5. And that's going to be function 4 to make it absolute. And then enter. Should be 51 there. And then use the fill handle here. Boom, that's gonna fill in. So then we're gonna move on to step 3. It's gonna have you in this column G, Jane wants to calculate the number of days the pledge is overdue. If the age of the pledge is greater than 21 days, it is an overdue. Calculate the days overdue as follows. Okay, so let's go to G, cell G5. Roger. And then we are going to insert a if function for this one. So let's go ahead and go to formulas. Let's go to logical. Let's go to if. This will display here. This is going to be a big help, especially putting in a lot of if nested formulas. So right here it's going to ask. So in cell G5, insert a formula using the if function that tests whether the age of the pledge, quote, parentheses, sorry, cell F5 is greater than 21. So we're going to go F5 is greater than 21. Then we're going to go to the second value, and we're going to put if the age of the pledge is greater than 21, subtract the due date of E5, so E5, subtract it from B2. And that will be the next step. And then it wants you to, sorry, this is going to be B2 minus E5. And then it says, if the age of the pledge is less than or equal to 21, display as 0. So that would be the last option there. And then it wants us to use an absolute reference to cell B2 in the formula. So we're just going to go right here and B2, boom. And again, we're going to put a function 4. And that is, oh, it didn't even work. Okay, yeah, it's not going in there. So I'm going to come over here, right here. And I'm going to click this. I'm going to put the money sign before the B and before the 2. And this is going to make it so it calculates individually rather than just spreading everything. So that's it. Press done. And then we are going to drag this baby down again. Boom. Exit this. Okay, let's go here. Let's see what the next step is. Let's see. Jen sends a reminder to donors with pledges that have been overdue for more than 21 days. If the amount is more than 800, provide a quick way to identify those donors as follows. So it wants us to go to cell 15, I-15. So right here, she wants to be able to remind everybody that is 21 days and the amount is more than, if the amount is more than $800, she wants to be able to send a quick reminder. So she wants us to put an AND function. So let's go back here. Let's go to logical. Let's go to AND. And then she wants us to put true if the number of days are overdue in cell, let me see. So in cell I5, insert a formula using the AND function that returns true if the number of days overdue in cell G5 is greater than 21, and if the pledge amount cell D5 is greater than 800. So cool. Let's go here. Let's put G5 greater than 21. And let's go here and let's put D5 greater than 800. Okay, then that's it. So let's drag this down again. Boom. And just like that, we're gonna exit And now we're gonna go to level. Sorry, I think level's next. Let's see, yeah, level's gonna be next. So Cortana University assigns each donation to a level of gold, silver, or bronze depending on the pledge amount. Display the donation level using a nested if function as follows. So this one's a little bit tougher, but we'll get through it. So let's go to formulas. Then we're gonna go, boom, we're gonna put if. And then for this one, it's gonna want us to do a nested formula. So it's gonna be like more than one, or an if function that has another if function nested inside of it. So we'll go ahead and start typing this bad boy up. So in cell H5, which is here, we have it set up to insert the if function. So it says the first condition tests whether the pledge amount cell D5 is greater than or equal to 500 and displays the level as gold. So let's go ahead and do that. So D5 is greater or equal to 5,000. It's going to display gold. Boom. But it doesn't want it caps. And then we're going to go to the false value. Actually, no, we're just going to leave this like this, which will show up here. And we're going to go ahead and put done. You could technically type it here, but it's going to make it a lot easier if you just do it step by step. That way you don't mess up, unless you're very experienced. But so from here, I'm going to exit out. So this is going to show gold, but it's not completing every step that I want. So we're going to go here, right in between the parentheses, right here. And then we're going to put a comma. And now we're going to put another if function inside this. So we're going to go here, go to if, and then we're going to go here. So it's going to give us now another 3 columns, which is awesome because now we can put 5b in, which is, it's going to be the next condition uses the if function to test whether the pledge amount of cell D5 is greater than or equal to 2,000. So D5 is greater than or equal to 2,000. Okay, boom. And then it says, and displays a silver if true. So, okay, it wants a silver. So we'll do that, put a little quotation. We're gonna put silver and just make sure to write it as exactly how they want it so it doesn't come back wrong. And then we're gonna put shift, quote that. And then, actually, sorry about that. So if it's greater than 2,000, if the value is true, it's gonna put a silver. Then if it's false, this is where it's gonna put a bronze. Boom. And then, so it makes it very easy to follow here rather than getting all confused here. So here it's gonna look like this, but here it actually just kind of breaks it down for us already. So we're gonna put done. And then boom, so now this cell contains this whole formula. So it's a nested if formula within this whole if function formula here. So we're gonna put exit here, and then it's gonna have us scroll down all the way to H17. Boom. And then that's about it right there. Looks really good here. And then after that, it's gonna take us to K, I believe. So let's go over here. Let's see what it wants us to do there. So it says donors receive a premium as a token of appreciation if their donation is at the gold level or if they are repeat donors. So it provides this information for Jane as follows. So it's going to show us here on K if they are continuous donors and if they basically get a token of appreciation. So for here, we're going to go to K5, and then it says we're going to put a OR function. So we're going to go back to our formulas. We're going to go to OR, boom. And then, okay, let's see what it wants to type in. So it says, in cell K5, insert a formula using the OR function that returns true if the donation level cell H5 equals, quote, gold, or repeat donor indicator cell J5 equals Y. So if either or of these conditions are made, then it would qualify them to get that appreciation token. So let's go to right here. Let's start typing this in. So it wants if the donation cell of, okay, so H5 equals gold. It's true. And then if J5 equals Y, then it's true. So those conditions are set now, and we can exit. And then again, we can just boom, 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 and that's there. So boom, it's done. Now, let's see what it wants us to do. It's gonna go bada bing, bada boom here. It's gonna go to Jane. Jane likes to keep track of the total number of pledges she has received from the university. In cell B19, enter a formula using the count function that counts the number of pledges IDs in the range A5 through A17. Okay, boom, 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 let's do that. So over here, we're gonna go to B19, and then it wants us to count. So we'll put equals, and then we'll put count, and then we'll put boom, and then it wants us to count between A5 through, and these little two dots that you would see right here basically just means through. So just a tip in case you're kind of didn't know that before, and that's it. So it's going to highlight this, and basically that's what it's going to enter in. It's going to count all these, boom, boom, boom. You can manually count these, but if it's like a huge list, then yeah, you just want to equals count, and then boom, knocks it out. Just enter, and 13. So in here, it's going to be 13 pledges. And okay, let's go to the next one. It's going to be, okay, Jane also likes to keep track of the approximate amount of pledges she has received. In cell B20, enter a formula using the round up and sum function that totals the pledge amounts, ranges from D5 to D17, and rounds the result up to -3 decimal places or 3 places before the decimal point. All right, so for this one, what we want to do is, so capture the D5 to D17. So these are the ones that it wants us to sum. So let's just, let's go here. Let's put the equal sign. Let's put the sum, boom. So in case you didn't see that, I click the cell B20 and I put the equal sign, and then right here, how you can write it out, sum, or you can just press this right here, and that's what I did. So I press sum, and then now it shows a B19 because that's the cell that's right above it, but I'm not trying to calculate that. I'm trying to do a different one. So it wants us to count, to sum this up right here. So I can highlight this, I can click here and just drag it, but in my case, I'm just gonna type it in. So it's gonna be D5 through D17, boom. Then it highlights it there, highlights it right here. We're gonna close that with the, oh shit. Okay, right there, now we're good. Enter, and then boom, it shows right here. But that's not what they want. So they want us to, it wants to round it up, and it wants the result to be -3 decimal places. So we'll go here, and then we're going to round this bad boy up. So we are gonna go here. So here, I'll show it again. Escape. So we're here, right? That's the result of rounding this up. I mean, of summing all this up, but we need to round it up negative, and when it rounds up, it wants us to go -3 decimal places. So, well, for that, we're gonna click right here, boom, and we're gonna put round, and then right here, we're gonna put a comma -3, because that's what it wants. It wants us to, it wants to round it, wants to sum it, round it, and then it wants us to go -3 decimal places, or 3 places before the decimal point. So we're gonna click enter. Correction. Let me see if I'm doing this. Okay, so there it goes. Enter, and then it rounds it. So now it rounds it up to $28,000. Okay? So if it was -4, then you would just put the -4 at the end. Right here, you would put -4. If I wanted to round it all the way to the 2, that's what we would put. So okay, boom, boom, boom. That's out the way. Then it wants us to go to. It wants us to go to Q3 gifts. Now we're gonna zoom this bad boy up so it doesn't mess up our eyes. And then it wants us to apply the accounting. So we're gonna go here, boom, boom, boom. We're gonna go to the home. We're gonna go to home. I'm gonna go to accounting. Okay. Then it wants Jane to. It wants us to go to. It says Jane wants to calculate the percentage each type of gift contributed to the total amount of gifts. To avoid a divide by 0 error in the calculation, she wants to make the calculation using the IFFunction, which she has already entered. Complete the formula as follows. So, okay, so she wants us to go here, and then it says in cell C5, which is right here, she wants us to, in cell E5, before the comma, in the if error function, so before the comma, so it's right there, she wants us to, using the function that divides the amount of cash of gifts, so cell B5, by the total amount of gifts cell B11. So we're going to put B5 / for divide, and then we're going to put B11. So here's the formula up here. We just did it. The division right here, and then this is it highlights what it's actually dividing, and then boom, we're just gonna press enter, and then it's gonna give us a 39, and then it wants us to use the absolute for B. It says use the absolute reference to cell B11. So for B11, which is right here, we're gonna highlight that guy, and we're gonna put the function for, and then we're gonna press enter, and then there it goes. So we're gonna drag it. Sorry. It only wants us to drag to right there. And there you go. The function carries on. These are your percentages, and that's it. That's your whole assignment there, and that basically shows us quite a bit of functions. So it's very important that you put the function for the date, or else this will throw this whole thing off. It's very important that you use for nested functions. Try to go about it where you can enter in separately each if function. That way you're not trying to do all this unless you're very experienced. We got to see the AND function here. Then we got to see the OR right here. Then we got to see the equals, basically the round and the sum together to the -3 decimal place. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Give a like, and yeah, try to keep posting stuff like this too to help people out that struggle. And yeah, catch you guys later.